it's not sanctioned, it's probably real. This is the No Sanction Show! They didn't approve this. That's the point. No sanction. No permission. We don't ask. We limit with. No fighting. No perimeters. Real fights. No limits. No petty records. No quiet deals. No hidden hands. Just blood and steel. No shortcuts taken. No protection clause. You step inside, you face the laws. No bill, we take it. No crown, we make it. You stall, we break it. You can't. No permission. If it's war, we on a mission. No nip. No collusion. Real fights. No erosion. If it's not sanctioned, it's probably real. This is the No Sanction Show! They didn't approve this. That's the point. No sanction. No permission. We don't ask. We limit with. No fighting. No perimeters. Real fights. No limits. No petty records. No quiet deals. No hidden hands. Just blood and steel. No shortcuts taken. No protection clause. You step inside, you face the laws. No bill, we take it. No crown, we make it. You stall, we break it. You can't. No permission. If it's war, we on a mission. No nip. No collusion. Real fights. No erosion. If it's not sanctioned, it's probably real. This is the No Sanction Show! They didn't approve this. That's the point. No sanction.
Houston, what is up? Welcome back to the No Sanction Show, episode 2. I'm Joe Jeezy, and sitting next to me is the one and only Hector Macho Camacho Jr., our boxing analyst. Macho, how we feeling tonight?
We feeling macho. We ready to go. The No Sanction Show, baby.
All right, this week in boxing went absolutely insane. We got a loaded show for y'all tonight. 15 segments, no commercials, no politics, just boxing. Here's what's on deck. Ryan Garcia crowns himself king at welterweight with a masterclass. Yes. A fighter collapsed in the ring on live TV in Detroit. Scary stuff. Conor Ben leaves Eddie Hearn for Sufa Boxing, $15 million. Dana White calls Eddie Hearn the biggest P word in boxing on live TV. Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao 2 is official, September 19th at the Sphere on Netflix. Now, Frank Warren is suing Sella and TKO for $1 billion. Dean the Great got elbowed by a retired UFC fighter. 18 million views and counting. We got UFC results, tonight's prediction for Navarrete versus Nunes, walkout rankings, fit check, a deep dive, matchmaker roulette, and the street story on Erickson Garcia. From the Dominican Navy to the upset of the year in Riyadh. Plus the BiYu report. 15 segments, let's go. So this is our segment 2. It's called Scorecards Might Lie, right? Scorecards Might Lie. This is where we look at the judging decisions from the weekend and ask were the cards right or did somebody get robbed? Let's start with the main event. Ryan Garcia versus Mario Barrios for the WC welterweight title. February 21st, T-Mobile Arena, The Zone, pay-per-view. Scorecards came back 120, 107, 119, 108, 118, 109. All unanimous for Garcia. And honestly, the judges the judges were being very generous to Barrios. Garcia dropped him 23 seconds into the fight. First two punches, a pair of overhand rights, and Barrios is on the canvas. The fight was basically over right there. CompuBox tells the whole story. Garcia landed 185 total punches to Barrios, 106. Power punches Garcia, 103. Barrios only 43. Garcia landed 82 jabs, the most jab anybody has ever landed on Mario Barrios in his entire career. He outlanded Mario in 10 of 12 rounds and outthrew him in all 12. And he did all that while fighting with a hurt right hand from round 6 and 7 that his dad Henry confirmed at the DAZN broadcast. Post-fight, Garcia said, "I showed my amateur pedigree. I can box, I can move. I don't always have to go for the knockout." Oxes, the lawyer, called it a masterclass. Barrios was also a class act. Said Garcia came in with a better game plan. Macho, what do you think?
Well, great performance. He looked good. We were all looking for that great hook, but he showed a better IQ. Congratulations to the team and to Ryan and King Ryan, 147 welterweight. He's back in the mix.
Yep. So in this case, the scorecards did not lie. They told the truth. Yes. Now let's talk about some scorecards that did lie. Gary Antoine Russell versus Andy Hirioka, WA super lightweight on the undercard. Scorecards came back 117, 110, 116, 111, 116, 111 for Russell. And the T-Mobile Arena crowd booed loudly. Hirooka surged in the second half with bodywork that was visibly hurting Russell, backing him up on the ropes. Then Hirooka got a point deduction in round 10 for the two low blows, which killed his momentum at the worst possible time. And don't forget, Hirooka flew in from Japan 72 hours before the fight.
Yes.
You know? What do you think on that?
Hey, close fight. Fans felt they got robbed. But that's boxing. Get the win, pack it up, keep it moving.
Yeah. How bad is it a low blow? Like in the middle of a fight?
It plays its course. It definitely do. But suck it up, keep fighting.
Yeah.
Be more macho.
Be more macho. Now, here's the one that really has people talking. Frank Martin versus Nahir Albright. All three judges scored it 95-95 unanimous draw. Martin controlled the early rounds, but Albright surged in round 8, 9, and in round 10. He connected with a left hook that buckled Martin's legs. Martin was hurt, grabbing, tackling, and desperate. And then Albright's mouthpiece falls out. Referee stops the action. It falls out again a second time. During the same flurry, both times, Martin gets free recovery time. Post-fight, Albright said, "It's best. If my mouthpiece ain't fall out, y'all know what happened." What do you think, Macho?
You know what? On paper, we look like Frank Martin's easy win. Get the win, keep moving. Though Albright's a decent fighter, but you got to fight. You got to fight and find out who's macho. Sometimes it's not your night, sometimes it is, and that's what it boils down to. Who's more macho at the end? Good fight.
Quick hits on the other two big fights. Clarissa Shields shuts out Franchin Cruz DAZN 100-90 on all three cards in Detroit. 17,000 fans. Cruz DAZN came out aggressive, backed Shields into the corners early, but she faced hard from round 4. Shields took over with hand speed and bodywork. The 100-90 shutout seems harsh, though. Cruz DAZN clearly won 2 of 3 of the early rounds. What do you think on that?
Great fight, great point for Shields. Hey, boxing, female boxing, women boxing is involved in something, and she's in there. Maybe it's time for her to fight a man, maybe?
Yeah.
A male boxer?
Yeah.
She's been calling them out. Who knows? Papoose, I know you keep that strap next to you. I understand.
Definitely should be in the works. Now, in Nottingham, Lee Wood absolutely dominated Josh Warrington in the rematch. 119-109, 119-110, 117-111. Wood fought entirely from the southpaw stand, hands at his hips, matador style. Warrington had no answer. He's won only 2 of his last 8 fights. Time to hang him up? That's not for me to say, but that's the question, right?
Definitely not third fight is needed. So
now this segment is called the damage report. All right, damage report: who got stopped, who got hurt, who got dropped. And we got to start with the scariest moments of the entire weekend. Joseph George versus Atif Alberton on the Shields card in Detroit. After competitive first round, George goes back to his corner, sits on his stool, drinks water, talks to his trainer. Everything looks normal, and then he just falls. Face first off the stool onto the canvas. Lost consciousness. The entire arena went silent. Medical personnel rushed in. He was motionless for several minutes. They stretched him out. The good news, George was released from the hospital Monday morning. MRI came back clean. His coach said he gets really nervous before fights and did not eat all day. Replays showed an accidental head clash late in round one that likely caused a delayed reaction. Oberton said, "I've never seen nothing like that before in my life in the sport of boxing." He crossed the ring to tell George he loved him. That's sportsmanship. Scary stuff. Thankful he's okay. I mean, those scary moments are very, very scary. And I mean, people have passed away, in the sport of boxing, on the ring, getting stretched out, so it's a very scary stuff.
That's part of sport,
Yeah, sadly.
You don't play boxing.
All right, so next up, we got the Knockout of the Year candidate, Danielle Perkins. This story is incredible. 43 years old, former professional basketball player. In 2008, she got hit by a car, cracked her skull, was paralyzed for 3 months. And on Saturday night in Detroit, she knocked out the previously unbeaten Shay Keneally with a massive right hand in round 6 to win the WBA Women's Light Heavyweight title. She is now 6'1", promoted by Shields, T-Rex promotion. That is a fighter's heart.
Never giving up. Fight to the last bell.
Yep. Quick fire damage report. Bektamir Melikuzev stopped Sena Agbeko with 2 seconds left in round 7 on the Garcia card. Buzzer beater knockout. Outlanded him 127-26 in power punches. He's 17-1, WA number 2 at super middleweight, calling for a world title shot. Dave Allen blitzed Berrigan in 57 seconds in Nottingham. 2 knockdowns, corner threw in the towel, quickest win of his career. Now, Amari Jones, remember that name, 23 years old, 16-0 with 14 knockouts. Oakland, California. Dropped Luis Arias in round 2 and 4. Corner stopped it. Trained by Virgil Hunter, signed with Golden Boy, IBF number 7 at middleweight. The next star?
Good step up. He beat a veteran.
Yep. Now, Leo Atang, 19 years old, 5-0, 5 knockouts, all 5 round stoppages. Stopped Dan Garber in 62 seconds in Nottingham. He's 6'6" and still growing. Gold medalist, 2024 World Under-19 Championships, signed with Matchroom. Remember that name. Now, and Richardson Hitchens. His IBF title defense against Oscar Duarte got canceled because Hitchens got projectile vomiting after making weight. IBF immediately ordered him to face Lindolfo Delgado within 30 days. Duarte's camp is calling it suspicious. What do you think on that?
Hey, fighter safety. Things can happen. And something happens, he does lose. Nobody cares. Nobody want to hear excuses. Good job. Good call.
Now, there was controversy on that. People saying that he should get stripped from the belt for that. I don't think it should really go that far, but he should immediately, I say, should fight Duarte and not move on to another fighter. You know what I'm saying? You got Duarte's team that trained, trained hard to come and be on that fight. Finally gets the opportunity, finally gets the shot, and I'm sick.
That raised a red flag.
Yeah, correct. All right, walkout rankings. All right, now these are the walkout rankings. We play the walkouts. We rank them through 5. Music, swagger, crowd reaction, aura. This weekend has some absolute bangers. Let's count them down. Now, number 5, Franchon Cruz Discern. Black fur coat, orange wig, fashion-forward entrance.
Fashion, baby.
Fun fact, she's actually a fashion designer. Bought a $25 sewing machine off Craigslist and has designed about 5 of Shield's fight outfits over the years. Even the rivals respects the drip. Number 4, Lay Wood in Nottingham. No big production, but the atmosphere. Half the arena in red for Nottingham, half in white for Leeds. Sweet Caroline echoing through the building. Sometimes the crowd is the walkout. Right? Now, number 3, Mario Barrios, El Azteca, the full Aztec ceremony. A Cali Puli group, traditional Mexicanawa performers from the Bay Area, indigenous drums, horns blowing, dancers in full regalia, custom combat attire by Javier Singsung Jr. He's been doing this since 2021 and it never really gets old. Culturally powerful, visually stunning. Now, number 2, we got Ryan Garcia, the full Batman-themed production at T-Mobile Arena. The Zone called it one of the most epic ring arrivals they've ever seen. Then, El Rey by Vicente Fernandez kicks in, the King. And King Ryan walks into the biggest fight of his life, cinematic. Now, number 1, it's not even close. Clarissa Shields in Detroit, Lil Boosie performance Set It Off live, a full drum line marching through Little Caesars Arena, 18,000 fans going insane. Shields said on Instagram, the walkout was crazy. I got in that ring and looked around. Walkout of the year, no debate. What did you think?
You know what I think about it personally? Neither one gave a shot to Hector Macho Camacho, the pioneer, the one who started the Fazazzo, the one who started it, the original creator, Hector Macho Camacho.
Big respects to Hector Macho Camacho, baby.
But no, it's entertainment. That's needed in boxing.
Correct. Now, my all-time top 5, number 1, Mike Tyson Silent Walk. No music, no rope, no socks, just black trunks and pure menace. Number 2, Prince Nassim Hamed, the flying carpet, the thriller entrance, the somersault over the ropes. Number 3, Lennox Lewis walking out to James Brown's The Big Payback for the Ramen rematch. Number 4, Floyd Mayweather in the sombrero with 50 Cent versus De La Hoya. Number 5, Pacquiao with Survivor performing Eye of the Tiger live. Honorable mention, Wilder's 40-pound skull armor that he blamed for the tired legs against Fury. That's pretty funny.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah. Now, segment 5 is the money round. All right? Now, money round, purses, deals, contracts, politics, and Macho. This week had more business news than fight news. Let's start with the one that shook the whole industry. Now, February 20th, one day before Garcia's and Barrios, Conor Benn officially signs with Zuffa Boxing, leaves Eddie Hearn's matchroom after a decade. The deal? $15 million for one fight.
Show me the money. Amazing.
Funded by Salah, the Saudi entertainment company, not TKO directly, so Dana White gets a marquee signing and TKO doesn't even foot the bill. UFC fighters were not happy. Sean O'Malley said, I don't even know who Conor Benn is. It's crazy how you put in so much work in the UFC and I'm not making $15 million a fight. That's a real problem for Dana. His own fighters are watching Zuffa Boxing like, hold on, we're getting paid what? And Ben immediately called out Ryan Garcia. Congratulations, champ. See you later this year. Keep my belt warm. So now we got potential Zuffa Boxing versus Golden Boy matchups for the WBC welterweight title. What do you think, Macho?
They're giving out money. Call me. Call me. That was amazing, man. To have a negotiator. I mean, one fight, $15 million? That's amazing. That's mind-blowing. That's a deal of the year.
Yeah, $15 million is a lot of money.
Nobody's going to beat that deal.
All right, next, we got Frank Warren's Queensberry promotion is suing Salah and TKO for $1 billion in the British High Court. The claim is that Queensberry signed exclusivity agreements with Saudi Arabia back in September 2023, which led to Fury, Ngannou, and other events. But then Silla and TKO went behind Warren's back and formed Zuffa Boxing without him. Warren says they breached both agreements. Sella says the claims are unfounded. $1 billion. Frank Warren survived getting shot by a gunman in 1989. The man doesn't play around. This lawsuit could reshape the entire power structure of boxing. Zuffa Boxing 04 is set for match 8th. Jay Opetawa versus Brandon Glanton for the inaugural Zuffa Cruiserweight title. This Zuffa's first championship fight ever. Meta Apex in Vegas, Paramount Plus. They got $500 million deal with Paramount Plus, $100 million a year for 12 cards. Sky Sports UK deal reportedly imminent, and they're reducing weight classes to just 8 and creating their own championship belts. They don't recognize the WBC, WBA, WBO, or IBF. That's a statement. What do you think, Macho?
Scary. What's going on to boxing? I'm a second-generation boxer. I was born in the sport. This ain't the beautiful sport that I was raised in. When we want to fight, we want to fight for the title, the green belt. We want to become the ABC champion, the ABA champion. So for boxing, hey, I mean,
Making their own belts, man.
listen, Dana White, I guess, is controlling boxing. He wants to take over boxing, and he's using the Saudis, Turk, for his takeover. So that's what it's looking like. But let's see what happens. You know?
Man, money talks, man.
Yeah, let's see what happens.
You got Saudi money too. All right, now moving on to the biggest announcement of the week. Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao 2, September 19th at the Sphere in Las Vegas on Netflix. Professional bout, not an exhibition. First boxing event ever at the Sphere. Mayweather is 50-0 and 49 years old. Pacquiao is 62, 8-3, and 47. Their first fight in 2015 did 4.6 million pay-per-view buys and a $72 million gate. Pacquiao said, I want Floyd to live with the one loss on his professional record. I don't care how old they are, I'm watching. Sanction in Body Chaos continues. Shakur Stevenson stripped of WBC lightweight for refusing a $127,000 fee called the WBC Crooks. Tank Davis stripped of a WBA lightweight for inactivity and legal issues. Crawford stripped of WBC super middleweight for refusing a $300,000 fee, then just retired at 42-0. Joe Rogan went off. That is so nuts. He won. F off. Garcia's purse for Barrios was estimated at $5 to $8 million guaranteed, probably 10 plus with pay-per-view upside. Barrios got a career high 5 to 8 million. Card was 69.69 on the zone. Now we're moving on to the next segment, which is called Beauty and the Beef. Relationships, drama, and the beef's driving this sport. And we got to start with the beef that's gone nuclear. Dana White versus Eddie Hearn. February 18, Hearn goes on camera and says Dana White has a new daddy and his name is Turkey. Then he called Zuffa's show absolute complete dog shit. February 22nd, Dana White responded at the UFC Houston post-fight presser. He said, I'm cleaning this up slightly. Is there a bigger P word than Eddie Hearn? He's crying. Ben is going to make more money. And Hearn is genuinely hurt. He said he was pretty devastated about losing Ben. Said, I blame myself because I forgot it was boxing. He revealed he loaned Ben money during the failed drug test saga and paid over 1 million pounds in Ben's legal costs. And after all that, Ben couldn't even pick up the phone to tell him. I found out from Ben's lawyer via email. That's cold. But Hearn had a good parting shot. He told UFC fighters, if you're watching this Zuffa deal, you're going, what the F? I'm being absolutely ripped off. And he's not wrong. What do you think, Macho?
Hey, beautiful sport, ugly business in boxing. That's what it boils down to.
Yeah. All right, so next we got Garcia calls out Shakur Stevenson right after winning the title. And Shakur accepted live on the zone from the broadcast booth. Shakur wants a 144-pound catch weight and full VADA testing. Garcia wants welterweight. They have amateur history from 2013. Oscar De La Hoya says he loves the fight. Other call-outs aimed at Garcia. Conor Benn said, keep my belt warm. Josh Kelly said, battle of the pretty boys, baby. Keyshawn Davis congratulated Garcia, but predicted Shakur whoops his ass. The welterweight division is on fire. Now, the Dean the Great saga, because This was the funniest and most viral thing in combat sports all week. February 17, Dean the Great, real name Nuruddin Shabazz, Misfits boxer and kick streamer. He's on a Rampage Jackson's live stream disrespecting powerlifter Larry Wheels' wife. Rampage warned him. Dean kept going. Larry Wheels slapped him across the face on camera. He slapped the shit out of him. Just slapped the shit out of him. And I mean, he didn't do nothing. What you gonna do to that big guy, right? That's a day one. Day two, Dean's at another Rampage party. He confronted ex-UFC fighter Tiki Gosson. Gosson asks, "Are you the guy that got slapped?" And Dean, this man did not learn, says, "Yeah, but I'll slap the shit out of you." Tiki Gosson elbowed him in the face and dropped him without putting down his drink. 18 points, 18.4 million views. 107,000 likes. Dana White reposted it. Dean showed up on his kick stream in a neck brace and called out Dana White. Sean O'Malley agreed to fight him. This man has a gift for getting beat up at parties. I mean, there ain't much to say. Dude is really chasing clout, and getting his ass whooped, getting that clout. But I mean, is it working? I mean, this is now what streamers are doing and content creators. Now, Tank Davis, the update on Tank Davis, we still in legal limbo. Arrested January 28th in Miami on battery, false imprisonment, and attempted kidnapping charges. Maryland probation warrant was issued February 3rd, recalled by a judge on February 22nd, GPS monitoring instead. Now, WBA stripped his lightweight title. His trainer, Calvin Ford, says he'll be back, but right now, Tanks is sitting and waiting. Hasn't fought since the controversial draw with Lamont Roach Jr. in March 2025. And on the beauty side, the Shields and Cruz Dezern had a full weigh-in brawl the day before their fights. Security had to separate them. Cruz Dezern rolled her ankle, but after 10 rounds of war on fight night, they shared a warm embrace. That's the full cycle. Beef to respect. That's boxing. Now we're doing our next segment, which is called the Fit Check. Best and worst looks from the weekend. Fighters, corners, ringside, crown. Let's get into it. Now, number one, we got Clarissa Shields at the weigh-in. Floor-length green mink coat over a Louis Vuitton velvet swimsuit.
Fashion.
Bob wig styled like Faith Evans. Red lipstick. She looked like a queen walking into her coronation. But it wasn't just Shields. The whole Detroit crowd showed up. Shields said on Instagram, "I saw so many minks and furs. Where is we at? Is we at the fur store? Baby, when I tell you I've seen so many different color minks, everybody looks so damn good." Big Sean, T. Grizzly, Mike Epps, Michael Blackson, Thomas Hearns, Terrence Crawford, all in attendance. Detroit turned Little Caesars Arena into a fashion show. Ryan Garcia, the full Batman-themed production. The Zone tagged it, #Batman. He always brings the showmanship. Mario Barrios, custom Aztec combat attire by Javier Sing-Sung Jr. Bedazzled cultural designs. That outfit is a piece every time. Francine Cruz Dezern, black fur coat, orange wig. She's a fashion designer herself. Designed about 5 of Shields' fight outfits. Nice. Even the rival respects the drip. And the worst look of the weekend, Dean the Great in the neck brace on his kick stream after getting elbowed by Tiki. That ain't a fit. That's a consequence.
You know what? I'll give it to I love how Clarissa looks. I like that fashion. I love what she mixing in. Looking great for boxing. Looking great for her. The diva.
Now, segment 8. Now, this is where we're going into a boxing deep dive. All right? This is the analyst segment, and this is your time, Macho. We're breaking down how 3 fighters won their fights this weekend. Let's start with Garcia versus Barrios. Here's what I noticed. Everyone expected Garcia to win with the left hook. That's his signature. But the real story was the straight right hand. Garcia himself said post-fight, "Y'all were saying, watch out for my left hook, but you saw my right hand working tonight." 2 right hands dropped Barrios in 23 seconds. Then Garcia maintained center ring behind a relentless jab, mixing head, body, head combos in 3 and 4 punch sequences. After the hand injury, round 6 and 7, he switched to a jab, heavy approach that was equally effective.
I've seen a lot of things with Ryan. Good jab, little fakes, little spur fakes, getting the timing. So the right hand was landing. Everybody was expecting the hook, especially Barrio's trainer, Joe Goosen, who recently worked with Ryan. So, yeah, great adjustment, great win.
All right, so next we got the Shields. Shields versus Cruz Dezern, the 100 to 90 shutout. Cruz Dezern came out aggressive early, backing Shields to the ropes. But by round 4, she was gassed. Mouth wide open, couldn't sustain the pace after moving up from super middleweight. From there, Shields' hand speed took over. 3 and 4 punch combinations before Cruz Dezern could even respond. Body work from round 7 drained everything.
She looked tremendous. From parrying the punches to a defense, to that good jab, to a condition work. They were throwing that level from early in the rounds.
Mm-hmm. So, we go back to the talk of she should be ready to fight a man now.
I will say. Exhibition. We got Mike Tyson versus Floyd Mayweather. Ain't that crazy?
Yeah, correct.
So why not?
Yeah. Exhibition fight.
Everybody, so she
Who would you put Shields against?
That's interesting. You got manpower involved, but that's interesting. Logan Paul. I don't know.
Or Jake Paul, right?
I'll take Logan. Put the brother in there. Put the brother. Give Jacob hands. You got to touch real quick.
Put them both in there.
But no, you know what? It's interesting. It's interesting. Let's see. That'll be interesting to watch.
All right. Now moving on to Leigh Wood versus Josh Warrington. Here's the chess move. Wood fought the entire fight from a southpaw stand, even though he's a natural orthodox fighter. Hands down, matador style from round 2. Warrington couldn't figure out the distance. Round 4, Wood landed a left uppercut that clearly hurt Warrington, the same punch that troubled him in fight 1. After that, Warrington went cautious. One and done attacks. No body work. At 35 with 2 wins in his last 8, the retirement question is real.
Yes, and you know what's that? Fighting southpaw, preparing the discipline to fight in the stance, it's not chores, and throwing the opponent off. That's hats off.
Now, we're moving on to this next segment called Predictions and Line Check. What fights are coming up? What are the odds? Where's the value? The big one is tonight. Emmanuel Navarrete, 39-2-1, with 32 knockouts, versus Eduardo Sugar Nunes, 29-1, with 27 knockouts.
Puncher.
WBO and IBF Super Featherweight Unification, Desert Diamond Arena in Glendale, Arizona, on the Zone. Odds have Nunes as the favorite at minus 225. Navarrete is the underdog at plus 170. Combined 59 knockouts and 70 wins, Nunes has 93% knockout rate. But Navarrete has the reach advantage, 72 inches to 68, and 42 fights of experience. He's gone 1-1-1 in his last 3 and hasn't fought in 10 months, though. Genuine coin flip fight. Somebody's going to sleep.
Somebody likes getting turned off early. Navarrete is a well-experienced fighters. Good fight. Who wins here? The fans who wins.
My pick is Nunes by late stoppage. But I think Navarrete at plus 170 is a smart bet.
It's a live underdog.
If you believe in the veteran. Also tonight, Elijah Pierce versus Lorenzo Parra II on Amazon Prime, which is Manny Pacquiao's promotion's New York debut. Kermel Moton on the card at 8-0. I like this guy. That's the Mayweather protege. And Jimuel Pacquiao Jr., Manny's son, has his second pro fight.
Good to see.
Looking ahead, March 8th, Opatawa versus Glanton. First ever Zuffa championship fight. March 28th is the big one. Sebastian Fundora versus Keith, one-time Thurman, for the WC Super Welterweight title at the MGM Grand. Fundora is the 6'5" at 154 pounds, 86% picking Fundora. Mark your calendars. April 4th, Wilder versus Chisora in London. April 11th, Fury versus Makhmudov on Netflix. May 2nd, Benavides versus Zurdo at the T-Mobile. September 12th, Canelo returns in Riyadh. September 19th, Mayweather versus Pacquiao 2 at the Sphere. 2026 is stacked.
Box is back.
Now, this segment 10 is called maintenance. All right, maintenance, quick housekeeping, injuries, cancellations, contract news, rapid fire. Richard Hitchinson's IBF title defense canceled. Projectile vomiting after making weight, IBF gave him 30 days to face Lindolfo Delgado or they're ordering a purse bid. Duarte's camp is calling it suspicious.
Ooh.
Ryan Garcia confirmed a right hand injury from the Barrios fight, round 6 and 7. No word on how long he's out. Top Rank still has no broadcast deal. Their fighters are fighting on Facebook streams and club shows. Bob Arum is 94 years old and the company is in crisis. Now, Virgil Ortiz Jr. filed a lawsuit to leave Golden Boy. Golden Boy countersued for $10 million. And Garcia says the Barrios fight was his last fight under Golden Boy. Oscar disagrees. 2 lawsuits now. Terrence Crawford retired in December at 42-0, vacated all undisputed super middleweight belts. Division is wide open. Now, Katie Taylor's retirement fight is being planned for Dublin. Canelo targeting September 12th in Riyadh after an elbow surgery. Tank Davis is on GPS monitoring after the Maryland warrant got recalled. Tenshin Nasugawa versus Juan Francisco Estrada set as WBC eliminator for April 11th. A lot of maintenance. Let's shift gears. I want to tell y'all a story. Now, this segment is called The Street Story. We're doing the street story on Everson Garcia. Every week on the No Sanction show, we bring you a street story, a deep dive into a fighter's journey. Tonight, for our very first street story, we're telling you about a man who went from the Dominican Republic Navy to pulling off the upset of the year in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. This is the story of Everson, the Ghost Garcia. Everson Garcia was born May 12, 1994, in Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic, one of the most boxing-rich nations in the Caribbean. He started fight at age 14, and he didn't just dabble, he went to war. 270 wins in roughly 300 amateur fights, multiple national medals, 2 second-place finishes in the military games. And when I say military games, I mean military. From 2012 to 2017, Everson served in the Dominican Republic Navy. 5 years of active military service while simultaneously building himself into an elite amateur boxer. That's discipline on another level. He turned pro on January 26, 2017, during his final year of Navy service. Won his first 7 fights in the Dominican Republic, but Everson wanted more. He wanted the American dream. So in 2020, he packed his bags and moved to Houston, Texas. Connected with Bobby Harrison and BiYu Promotions. Started building his record on BiYu brawl cards and club shows, working his way up. Southpaw, 5'8", 70-inch reach. Technical, but with power. 14 knockouts and 23 wins. Everything was going right. And then on August 4th, 2023, everything came crashing down. Showbox, the new generation. Everson's first television main event. He was 17-0 and feeling untouchable. And Jordan White knocked him out cold. 1 minute and 57 seconds of round 1. Flat on his back, unconscious. A knockout so devastating it made KO of the year list. Bobby Harrison called it a fluke. 1-punch KO before they were even sweating. A lot of fighters don't come back from a knockout like that. The doubt creeps in. The confidence shatters. But Everson Garcia is built different. 6 consecutive victories after the loss. September 2025, he won the WBO NABO Super Featherweight title with a 3rd round knockout. 3 punches, 70 seconds, done. But the moment that has changed everything, December 27, 2025, Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, the Ring 5, the Night of the Samurai, the undercard of Inoue versus Picasso, the biggest card in boxing that month. And Everson Garcia gets called up as a late replacement. 2 to 3 weeks notice, the WBA number 3 Armando Martinez pulled out. And Everson said yes. He scrapped his plans for a hometown event in Santo Domingo and flew to Saudi Arabia. His opponent, Taiga Imanaga, unbeaten Japanese southpaw, 9-0, the minus 200 favorite. Nobody gave Everson a chance. But he didn't even come to participate. He came to win. His strategy was old school. Step inside the jab, put your forehead on the man's chest, take away all his room, make him fight where he doesn't want to fight. Pressure, pressure, pressure. And in round 8, a right hand landed flush, and Imanaga went down hard. He got up, but he was a stationary target, blood everywhere, right eye swelling shut. Multiple analysts said it could have been stopped right there. Split decision, 95-94, 96-93, and 94-95. Everson Garcia hands Taiga Imanaga his first professional loss on the biggest stage on 2 weeks' notice as a massive underdog. That's the heart of a Dominican Navy veteran. After the fight, Everson said, "I still have a lot of desire to be the world champion in different divisions, and more desire than when I started my career." Right now, Everson Garcia is 23-1 with 14 knockouts. Ranked WBO number 10, pushing for a world title shot at 130 or 135. Reports say he may be signing with Sufa Boxing, with BiYu continuing as management. He's been sparring with Shakir Stevenson right here in Houston. The Dominican Navy veteran got knocked out cold on TV and came out all the way back to upset an unbeaten fighter on the biggest card of the year. That is a street story. What do you think, man?
Hey, shout out to him. A lot of fights don't come back from that.
Yeah.
You
From a
have the
nasty
balls-
knockout like that
you have
in
the
round one.
balls in your place and believe in yourself. And again, when it's your time, it's your time. Timing finds you. It's his time.
Moving on to segment 12, other fights. Other fights is viral combat from outside the boxing ring. And Macho, UFC Houston was right here in our city on February 22nd at the Toyota Center. Main event, Sean Strickland TKO'd Anthony Hernandez in round 3. Controlled behind his jab for 2 rounds, then landed a brutal knee to the body in round 3 that badly hurt Hernandez. Swarmed him for the finish, first stoppage since 2023. Snapped Hernandez's 8-fight win streak. Post-fight, Strickland called out Khamzat Chimaev. "If Chimaev gets off the bench, I'd like to piece that little Chechen." Then said some things that got his mic cut off at the presser. But the knockout of the night, Uras Medic versus Houston's own Geoff Neal. Medic landed a flush left hook to Neal's temple at 1 minute and 19 seconds. Walk-off knockout. Neal was out. Tough night for Houston. Medic was never been to a decision. Every win is a finish. Every loss is a finish. Post-fight, he said, "Houston, we have a problem, and it's me." Called out Leon Edwards. Melquisael Costa hit Dan Ige with a spinning back kick knockout in round 1. Ige had never been finished in 29 prior fights. Jacoby Smith got a first-round KO. 4 performance of the night bonuses at $50,000 each. Do you watch UFC?
I don't watch much of it.
Yeah.
But,
Just boxing?
Just boxing.
Boxing
But
is
whenever
life.
it's on TV, I'll put it in. I'm a boxing dude, second generation. But
Now-
that back kick, that's impressive.
Yeah.
The timing, the coordination, that is impressive.
Now, quick mention, the Dean Gosson clip is the #1 viral combat moment of the week. 18 million views. Play it again for the people. We already covered it in Beauty and the Beef, but it deserves a second look. And on a serious note, that run it straight Dren, where 2 people run full speed at each other on track. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't.
It's 2 big-ass guys just running head-to-head and clashing into their bodies. It's insane.
I'm better off getting hit with the right hook.
A 19-year-old kid named Ryan Satterway died after an unsanctioned event. UFC's Tai Tuivasa was involved in promoting it. This needs to stop. That's not combat sports. That's recklessness. BKFC, quick hit. No events this past week. Last one was Knucklemania 6 in Philly on February 7th. Arlovsky stopped Rothwell, round 3 for the BKFC heavyweight title. Next event, March 4th in Newcastle. All right, this next segment is called What You Missed. Rapid recap of boxing news that most people slept on. Rapid fire, let's go. Sandy Ryan won the WBC super lightweight title on Nottingham card, her second world title at a new weight. People are sleeping on her. Leo Atang, remember this name, 19 years old, 5-0 with 5 knockouts, all first-round stoppages. Stopped Dan Garber in 62 seconds. He's 6'6" and still growing. Gold medalist 2024 World Under-19 Championships. Signed with Matchroom, managed by Sonny Edwards. The next Anthony Joshua? It's early, but the talent is scary. Edith Matisse. This might be the craziest story nobody's talking about. 45 years old, record of 21-16-1. She had 5 straight losses from 2022 to 2024, and she just upset the previously unbeaten Samantha Worthington for the interim WBA Women's Super Lightweight title. 45, 5 straight losses, and she's a world champion. The sport is wild, man.
Never give up.
USA Boxing is competing at the 77th Stranja tournament in Bulgaria right now. Houston's own Jocelyn Perez is on the squad, the only American boxer to medal at every international competition in 2025. Shout out to Jocelyn, man. Houston is proud. Josh Kelly, IBF super welterweight champion since January, called out Garcia after the Barrios win. Brandon Figueroa stopped Nick Ball in round 12 for the WA featherweight title. Daniel Dubois snubbed Fabio Wardley's first bump at their presser, tensions building. And Bilal Fawaz at 37 scored a fairy tale upset to capture the British and Commonwealth super welterweight titles. Age is just a number this weekend.
Say it again.
Age is just a number. All right, man. Moving on to the next segment. This one's called Matchmaker Roulette. 3 fights are needed to see made. The logic, the stakes, why these have to happen. Dream fight number 1. Inoue versus Junto Nakatani. Super bantamweight. Both 32-0. Both Japanese superstars. The biggest all-Japanese boxing event in history, potentially at the Tokyo Dome in front of 50,000 fans. Reports say plans are effectively in place for May 2026. Inoue is the conscious pound-for-pound number 1 fighter in the world. Nakatani is the only creditable challenger. This is the most anticipated fight in the entire sport. What do you think?
Huge fight. 2 superstars. 1 country. Too big for 2 fighters. So they got to win. Somebody got to win. Somebody got to fight. Somebody got to lose.
Now, dream fight number 2, Shakur Stevenson versus Ryan Garcia. The call-out just happened Saturday night. Both won it. Amateur history from 2013. Stevenson wants 144 and VADA testing. Garcia wants welterweight. Stevenson's position and ring IQ versus Garcia's speed and power. Oscar De La Hoya says he loves it. This could be the biggest fight of 2026 if they agree on the terms.
Big fight. Big fight. Time and speed, big fight. It's not that easy.
Who are your predictions on that fight?
That's a tough one. You know, that's a tough one. It go either way.
If you had money on it.
If I had money, I'd take the underdog. So what underdog day should be Ryan? I'll probably take Ryan.
Okay.
Explosiveness. You never know. Speed. You can't time speed.
Who do you want to win?
The boxing fans. They fight, everybody wins.
Now, the dream fight number 3, Jaron Boots Ennis versus Virgil Ortiz Jr. I love that. I want to see that fight so bad. Junior middleweight, the WBC has ordered this fight. Ennis, speed and fluidity versus Ortiz, relentless pressure. Requires Hearn and De La Hoya to cooperate. Big ask right now, but on pure quality, best available fight in boxing, period. Honorable mentions, Fury versus Joshua before it's too late. Benavides versus Canelo. And Bivol versus Better Beef 3. Which one would you want to see the most?
Give it to the Shakur and Garcia. These young boys are risking everything. They're fighting each other. They're making boxing fun again. So I'll pick that one right now.
All right, before we head out, before we leave the show, we're going to do the BiYu report. This is where we talk about our house, BiYu Promotions, Bobby Harrison, the Houston boxing scene. What's happening in our ecosystem? First, BiYu Brawl 5 went down on February 20th at the BiYu Arena right here in Houston, one day before Garcia Barrios. The energy was electric. If you were there, you know. If you weren't, you missed out. We're doing monthly events in 2026, and BiYu Brawl 6 is coming, March 27. Mark your calendars, the most explosive fight night in Texas. Be there. Erickson Garcia, we just told you his full street story. The key update, WBO number 10. World title shot incoming at 130 or 135. Possible sue for boxing promotional deal with BiYu continuing as management. The Riyadh upset changed everything for his trajectory. We got to address the Marquise Taylor situation. Marvelous Marquise Taylor, 18-1-2, ranked WBC number 13 at middleweight. After his viral knockout at the Ring Magazine sparring competition during Canelo Crawford fight week last July, Jay Prince allegedly started telling people he managed Taylor. BiYu Promotions issued a cease and desist in August because Taylor is under an exclusive 5-year management contract with Bobby Harrison signed in 2023. Bobby invested hundreds of thousands into Taylor's career, provided housing, secured the NABF title, helped get him WBC ranked. And as of right now, no public resolution, but we're watching it closely.
That's part of boxing, part of the sport, part of business. I was once told a statement: if you're not being sued by 2 or 3 people at the same time, you're in the wrong business.
I think it's pretty crazy that he's signed to BiYu. He's under Bobby, and he's fighting. He knocks out, at a big event, he knocks out his opponent, and then here comes Jay Prince saying, that's my fighter. Kind of crazy to me. Now, Bobby Harrison's empire keeps expanding. Offices in Houston, Tampa, and Santo Domingo. Partnerships with Xuan Boxing Promotions in the Dominican Republic and Juan Manuel Marquez Promotion. The roster is deep. Rafael Abreu, Elisel Rodriguez Ledesma, Vishon Champion at 8-0, Christopher Gonzalez at 7-0, Siobhan Davis is at 4-0 with 4 knockouts, Siobhan Stillwell at cruiserweight. BiYu is building. And the Houston boxing scene is thriving. BiYu running monthly events, Red Owl Boxing running Box Fest events, and the Team Combat League. Wow. Houston Hitman competing, coached by Bobby Benton and Austin Trout. Dirty Boxing Championship came through in January. This city is a boxing city. Shout out to Jocelyn Perez competing at the Stranda tournament in Bulgaria right now. Only American boxer to medal at every international competition in 2025. We see you, Jocelyn. Houston is proud. All right, that is it for the show, man. Episode 2 of the No Sanction Show in the books. Macho, give the people your one takeaway from this week.
Hey, boxing is alive. It's still macho time.
All right, so my takeaway is that the business of boxing changed this week. Conor Benn for $15 million to Zuffa. Frank Warren suing for $1 billion. Mayweather Pacquiao 2 at the Sphere. Every legacy promoter is either losing fighters, losing TV deals, or suing somebody. The old guard is crumbling, and the new money is reshaping everything. If you're a boxing fan, this is the most chaotic, most fragmented, and most entertaining era in the history of the sport. And we're here every Friday to break it all down for you. The No Sanction Show. We're every Friday on YouTube. Subscribe, like, share, tell a friend to tell a friend. BiYu Brawl 6, March 27 at the BiYu Arena. Be there. And tonight, Navarrete versus Nunes on the zone. Go watch that. No rules, no politics, just boxing. See y'all next Friday. Peace.
No bill, we take it. No crown, we make it. You start, we break it. You can't permission. If it's war, we on a mission. No nip, no collusion. Real fights, no erosion. If it's not sanctioned, it's probably real. This is the No Sanction Show!